So I had to shower. I had to wash my hair. I just had to do a few things before I came back. I couldn't just come back. I had to freshen up, had to do my hair, had to wash it. My hair feels so much better now. Okay. So now we're gonna read. I know most people are probably trying to go see D'Angelo. I know. I want to see him too. But we're gonna read these next few pages really quick. I'm gonna read these pages of The Color Purple really fast. I hope everyone had a great day. I hope everyone is doing well. And I'm gonna try and make it pretty quick so we can go check out D'Angelo. If I know, like I think I know, they're gonna be taking all day. Okay. As long as I get to hear Lady, I'm good. If I don't hear it, I'm still good. Okay. I want to swig of this. So where we last left off, Mr. came around to see Nettie, and for the last time, the father was like, "No, you flat out cannot have her. You can have Celie, and she comes with her own cow, and she's a good worker. She can't have any more children, and she's ugly and she tells lies." So the father is trash, straight trash. And so Mr. says to the father, "I ain't never seen her before, but I'm gonna come check her." And that's where we left off, okay? And so let's see what happens next. Get my reading voice together. Okay. Dear God, it took him the whole spring, from March to June, to make up his mind to take me. All I thought about was Nettie, how she could come to me if I marry him, and he'd be so love-struck with her, I could figure out a way for us to run away. Us both be hitting Nettie's school books pretty hard, because we know we got to be smart to get away. I know I'm not as pretty or as smart as Nettie, but she say I ain't dumb. The way you know who discover America, Nettie say, is you think about cucumbers. That what Columbus sound like. I learned all about Columbus in first grade, but look like he the first thing I forgot. She said Columbus come here on boats called the Neater, the Peter, and the Santa Marita. Indians so nice to him, he forced a bunch of them back home with him to wait on the queen. But, excuse me, but it ain't hard to think. But it ain't hard to think with getting married to Mr. hanging over my heart. I'm sorry, but it's hard to think with getting married to Mr. hanging over my head. The first time I got big, so I wanted to clear that up. She doesn't really know the concept of being pregnant or with child. All she knows is she gets big and there's a baby. Oh, so sad. Okay. I wanted to clarify that in case, yeah, right. In case I say got big again, you're like, what are you talking about? The first time I got big, Pa took me out of school. He never cared that I love it. Nettie stood there at the gate, holding tight to my hand. I was all dressed for first day. You too dumb to keep going to school, Pa say. Nettie the clever one in this bunch. But Pa, Nettie said, crying, Celie's smart too. Even Miss Beasley said so. Nettie dote on Miss Beasley. Think nobody like her in the world. Pa say, whoever listened to anything Addie Beasley have to say. She run off at the mouth so much no man would have her. That how come she have to teach school. He never looked up from cleaning his gun. Pretty soon, a bunch of white men came walking across the yard. They have guns too. Pa get up and follow them. The rest of the week, I vomit and dress wild game. But Nettie never gave up. Next thing I know, Miss Beasley at our house trying to talk to Pa. She say, long as she been a teacher, she never know nobody want to learn bad as Nettie and me. But when Pa called me out and she see how tight my dress is, she stopped talking and go. Nettie still don't understand. I don't either. All us notice is I'm all the time sick and fat. I feel bad sometimes. Nettie done passed me in. Wait. I feel bad sometimes. Nettie then passed me in learning. There we go. I wish I could show y'all how this is like written. It's written like I'm reading it, like Southern choppy dialect. It's pretty neat to write a whole novel this way, honestly. Okay. I feel bad sometimes Nettie didn't pass me in learning, but look like nothing she say can get in my brain and stay. She tried to tell me something about the ground not being flat. I just say yeah, like I know it. I never tell her how flat it looked to me. Mister come finally one day all drug out. The woman he had helping him done quit. His mommy done said, his mammy done said no more. He say, let me see her again. Pa call me. Celie, he say, like it wasn't nothing. Mister want another look at you. I go stand in the door, the sunshine in my eyes. He's still up on his horse. He look up and down. Pa rattle his newspaper. Move up. He won't bite, he say. I go closer to the steps, but not too close, 'cause I'm a little scared of his horse. Turn round, Pa say. I turn round. One of my little brothers come up. I think it was Lucius. He fat and playful, all the time munching on something. He say, what you doing that for? Pa say, your sister thinking about marriage. Didn't mean nothing to him. He pulled my dress tail and asked, can he have some blackberry jam out the safe? I say, yeah. She good with children, Pa say, rattling his paper open more. Never heard her say a word to ne'er one of them. Just give them everything they asked for. It's the only problem. Mister say, that cow still coming? He say, her cow. Gonna ask about a cow. Dear God, I spend my wedding day running from the oldest boy. He 12. His mama died in his arms and he don't want to hear nothing about no new one. He pick up a rock and laid my head wide open. The blood run all the way down between my breast. His daddy say, don't do that. But that's all he say. He got 4 children instead of 3, 2 boys and 2 girls. The girls' hair ain't been combed since their mammy died. I tell him, I just have to shave it off. Stop fresh. He say bad luck to cut a woman hair. So after I bandage my head best I can and cook dinner, they have a spring, not a well, and a wood stove look like a truck. I start trying to, I start trying to untangle their hair. They only 6 and 8 and they cry. They scream. They accuse me of murder. By 10 o'clock, I'm done. They cry themselves to sleep, but I don't cry. I lay there thinking about Nettie while he on top of me. Wonder if she's safe. And then I think about Suge Avery. I know what he doing to me. He done dubbed to Suge Avery and maybe she like it. I put my arm around him. Dear God, I was in town sitting on the wagon while Mister was in the dry goods store. I seen my baby girl. I knowed it was her. She looked just like me and my daddy, like more us than us is ourselves. She be tagging long hind a lady. They be dressed just alike. They pass the wagon and I speak. The lady speak pleasant. My little girl, she look up and sort of frown. She fretting over something. She got my eyes, just like they is today. Like everything I seen, she seen, and she pondering it. I think she mine. My heart say she mine, but I don't know she mine. If she mine, her name Olivia. I am border Olivia in the seat of all of her deities. I guess that's a southern thing. I embroidered a lot of little stars and flowers too. He took the deities when he took her. She was about 2 months old. Now she about 6. Dang. I climbed down from the wagon and I followed Olivia and her new mammy into a store. I watch her run her hand along the side counter like she ain't interested in nothing. Her mom's buying cloth. She don't touch nothing. Olivia yawned. That real pretty, I say, and help her mama drape a piece of cloth close to her face. She smiled. Gonna make me and my old girl some new dresses, she say. Her daddy be so proud. Who her daddy? I blurt out. It like it, it like, it like at last. Oh, okay. It like at last somebody know. She say, Mr. Blank, but that ain't my daddy name. Mr. Blank. So I want you to know that all men in the book are called Mr. except for her father. Okay? So they have names, but it's blanks, which I find very interesting too. That should let you know how much she just does not acknowledge men. All of them are just Mr. Blank. That's why Mr. is called Mr. in the movie. Fun fact, we'll find out later his name is Mr. Johnson. Okay, but right now she has no respect for men and does not acknowledge them in any way, shape, or form. And so now they are just Mr. Blank. Okay, so I'm gonna call I'm gonna call Olivia's adopted parents, Miss Lady and then Mr. Peckle. You got it. She said, Mr. Blank, but that ain't my daddy name. Mr. I say, who he? She looked like I asked something none of my business. The Reverend Mr., she said, then turned her face to the clerk. He said, Gal, you want that cloth or not? We got other customers sides you. She said, yes, sir, I want 5 yards, sir, please. He snatched the cloth and thumped down the bolt. He don't measure. When he think he got 5 yards, he tear it off. That'd be $1.30. He said, you need thread? She said, nah, sir. He said, you can't sew without thread. He pick up a spool and hold it to the cloth. That look like it's about the right color, don't you think? She said, yes, sir. He started to whistle. Take $2. Give her a quarter back. He look at me. You want something, gal? I say, nah, sir. I trail along behind them on the street. I don't have nothing to offer and I feel so poor. She look up and down the street. He ain't there. He ain't here. She say like she gonna cry. Who ain't? I asked. The Reverend Mister, she say. He took the wagon. My husband wagon right here, I say. She clam up. I thank you kindly, she say. A sit looking at all the folks that's come to town. I never seen so many, even at church. Some be dressed too. Some don't hit on much. Dust get all up in that lady dress. She asked me, who is my husband? Now, now I know all about hers. She laughed a little. I say, Mister. She say, sure enough. Like she know all about him. Just didn't know he was married. He a fine looking man, she say. Not a finer looking one in the county, white or black, she say. Also, that's something I thought was very interesting. Her man is the finest man in the town. That's not something they really highlighted in The Color Purple. But he's like top tier and he's like super trash. Just also wanted to point that out. He do look all right, I say, and look at that. She don't even think she's like, whatever, this man is whatever. He do look all right, I say, but I don't think about it while I say it. Most times, men's pretty much look alike to me. How long you had your little girl? I asked. Oh, she be 7 her next birthday. When that? I asked. She think back. Then she say, December. Well, I think November. I say real easy, what you call her? She said, oh, we calls her Pauline. My heart knocked. Then she frowned. But I calls her Olivia. Well, why you call her Olivia if that ain't her name? I asked. Well, just look at her. She says she's sort of impish. Turning to look at the child. Don't she look like Olivia to you? Look at her, for God's sake. Somebody old would have eyes like that. So I call her Olivia. She chuckled. Nah, Olivia, she said, patting the child hair. Well, here he come. The Reverend Mister, she said. I see a wagon and a great big man in a black and a great big man in black holding a whip. We sure do thank you for your hospitality, she laughed again. Look at the horses flicking flies off they rump. Hospitality, she said. And I get it, and I laugh. I feel like to split my face. That was old whack joke. Mr. come out the store, clam up in the wagon, sat down, say real slow, what you sitting here laughing like a fool for? Oh, that's it. I felt like I could keep reading to y'all, but that's it. We're stay on schedule. So that was that. She got to see her daughter. And that's crazy because, the first 7 pages, she gave birth to her daughter. And remember, she thought that her father took the baby out into the woods and killed it. And so here we are, 6 years later, almost 7 years later, we find out that he did not kill the baby. He actually gave it to a family, which happens to be a reverend and a first lady. So she got to see her daughter. Man, that's so crazy. And so I guess you can see here, like in the book, the years go by pretty rapidly. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, that's that. A few things. I accidentally deleted my sinning video for burning that midnight oil. Oh, it was such an accident. I'm so mad at myself. But since then, I've had some new revelations. I've had a few conversations with the GOD. And so there's some things I would like to talk to you about. So I'm going to really be burning the midnight oil. I'm going to come back and redo that video and share some more insight with that. So yeah, you are now released, class, to go enjoy D'Angelo. It's only about 15 minutes, maybe about 15 minutes in. I bet you they ain't start yet. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. Have a great night. Like I said, I'll probably be back a little bit earlier than 2 or 3 because I want to talk about sinning from what I talked about last night, and I kind of want to give some new insight. And I also want to, if I get another word, I want to be able to have time to talk about that too. And also, I'm really excited because my new members class is tomorrow at the Life Church. So if you haven't seen that video, I rededicated my life to Christ a week ago. It feels like 2 months ago, really. Or was it 2 weeks ago? No, it was a week ago. It was only a week ago. Wow. It feels longer than that. Well, I guess that makes sense. But I rededicated my life. Thanks, John. Back to Christ. And so my rededication class is tomorrow. And I'm really, really excited to get started on my journey. So yeah. All right, you guys. So have a good night. I'm going to go eat some popcorn and watch D'Angelo. And I'll see you later on in the evening or in the early morning.